Carlos, Nerotheboxer, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you, Ivan. Thank you for the invitation. So now we can talk about all this that now I'm part of the content creator. So I'm excited.
Yeah, man. Just because many people, like, of course, in the FGC scene, they will know you, but like outside, like, can you talk a bit about like who you are, what got you started in Street Fighter?
I think I start playing fighting games. I mean, Street Fighter 2017, but at that time I was studying communication in the university. So I get inside in Street Fighter because one day we have to present a documentary for a project. One of my friends present a documentary about fighting games about the Street Fighter. So I get
Mhm.
impressed about that, what I see and everything. And in my mind was the idea I need to play this and to see how it feel and things like that. So that's the beginning that how I started to play Street Fighter, no? And then I buy the game. The in that time was Street Fighter 4, I think. Um, then I discovered that I have a community here in my country in Peru, and then I was playing a lot, go to the meetings, reunion, tournaments. Then I make good progress, I think, over the years.
A very good progress. So, like,
Yeah.
what got you to like take it more seriously, to like being like in a like to be like in a professional level?
I think maybe in 2018 because I was playing more consistently.
Mhm.
I get many top eights. I mean, I get five plays, four plays. Um, I was thinking that maybe I can one day I can make a tournament. I can win a big tournament. So I get the chance to travel to Bolivia to a tournament. Um, I win the tournament. No? See, what's my first experience that uh, compete outside of your country. So when I win that tournament, I get more serious. This so in my mind was okay. I can compete with other big players here in my region or maybe outside. So on 2018, I think it was the that I get more serious about competing, be more consistently trained by myself, look a lot of video, my replays and things like that.
Amazing. We have some people in the audience. Dorde, I don't know if I pronounced it right. Apologies. From Germany, we have Hamasa from Peru, insider
Okay.
from the team. I'm just saying. Guys, if you have any questions, okay, just put them in the chat. And yeah, Carlos, like honestly, like what made you like study in Spain? Because that's when we connected first. Why not the US? Were you conscious about the opportunities in the collegiate esports scene in NA, or Spain sounded more attractive? Like, what was your thought process around it?
Um, it because I think uh, in one moment I was working in a cruise. So when I come back to my country, I don't know what to do if I'm still competing or maybe working something that I like for example, fighting games or video games. So I was investigated. I get the chance to study a course about esports. So when I finish the course, I get with you guys because I was trying to get my practice, Um, and then Damaso contact me. Um, for me, it was a good idea, because I was investigating by myself that Spain have a lot of uh, projects about esports. They have a lot of big teams, a lot of works about esports. So that's why I was investigating more about that, and I think that Spain it was good for me to be there and learn a lot about esport, about working in an agency or maybe in a big team. So that's why I chose Spain on that moment.
Hmm. Amazing. Were you aware of the opportunities like in North America, or did you discover that when you started working with us?
Uh, when I was working with you guys, I discovered a lot. I discovered
Yeah.
just not in Spain, but also in USA and other countries that they have a lot of years working on esports. But
Hmm.
in Spain it was good for me because I think I learned a lot. Also, I have the chance to still competing as a player.
Hmm. Yeah. And what do you think, like when you are recruiting, you know, those players to explain the opportunities that are innate, like what do you think separates like a good player from like a great player? It can be skill level or other aspects that you consider. I want to know your opinion on that.
I think maybe the experience that maybe a pro player have because they have a lot of years playing, or maybe they have a lot of the way how he studied the game. Maybe like if you're a beginner, maybe the first thing that you will do is, oh, okay, I will start the game and I will play rankeds until I get boring, and and make a high
Hmm.
score to my character. But as a professional, I think you play less rankeds, you play rooms maybe with other friends, or you look more
Hmm.
replays. Uh, you take some notes. What are you doing wrong? Um, I think that's the way that I do. I play rooms with other guys. I look my own mistakes that I make, like, and I take notes and I see the replay and I try to training by myself, looking for a solution. Okay, I'm doing wrong this, so maybe I should press this button, or maybe I don't know, jam in this
Yeah.
case, something like that.
Are you self-taught, or did you always have like a mentor or coach that uh, kind of
Um,
guided you?
Before, when I was starting to play, I have a friend who teach me a lot because he have more experience than me. When I get the same level, so now we are partners now, but he's not my teacher or something like that. Now I teach to him. It's funny, but uh, I think that I get a lot of experience. I practice by myself too many things, taking some notes that maybe he don't do. He just practice with me. If he lose, he only says, "Okay, I'm doing wrong," and that's it. But I take notes. I watch videos. I do more than him. That's maybe that I'm better now that him.
Was it because of dedication, or like what made you improve more than him?
Because I beat him a lot of tournament now. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm the teacher now.
You don't have to say his name. No, no.
No, 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 no.
There's a question from Dorde. Okay, that
Okay.
his question is, how is the esports situation in Latin America? If you could explain more about that. It can
Oh,
be
okay.
in FG. Let's make it like like in FG. Now that we're talking about fighting games, like
Okay.
what is the current situation? Yeah.
Um, at least in Peru, we don't have too many chances. I mean, for travel or get a sponsor, because the most popular game here is a MOBA game. The name of the game is Dota. It's very popular here. All the views and brands are supporting that game, so that's why many players here in Peru. have an sponsor, uh, from Dota, but to get a sponsor for FGC is very difficult because it's not too much popular. There's a few that, for example, I get now one, but at least in Peru, it's very, very difficult. We have a little chances, like, for example, on Saturday that I won a tournament that get a ticket for a big major tournament on Dominican Republic. So I will travel on next month, but we have just few chances to get a ticket for travel to another countries for keep competing because we have just few big tournaments, just the chance for qualify for the World Cup of the Street Fighter. This kind of tournament that I won just on Saturday. That's it. We don't have too many chances. We need to look for by myself to go to another country to compete. Maybe uh, to the community, talk with the community and save some money and send the good player to compete outside. Things like that. We don't have too many chances here.
Okay, okay. What do you say, like, because Attila here also like wrote a question. Today the LinkedIn community is pretty active. The hero question is like, is the fighting game community like let I mean let me reframe the question. So I'm gonna basically read it from there. Like, do you think in LATAM fighting games are more popular than in other regions? From what you
Maybe
said, there's not many. Yeah.
maybe in a few countries. Maybe, for example, in Peru, it's not too popular, but we had good
Mhm.
results outside when someone go outside to compete. But for example, in Chile, they have a lot of support there in the FGC. In Chile, maybe a little bit in Argentina, at least in South America, and Brazil, of course, Brazil. That's the three countries that I see that maybe they have a lot of support in FGC, but compares to Peru.
Why is that? Because the brands are more into esports,
Maybe
are more conscious about the benefits, or like what would that be?
maybe it can be the brands. Maybe it can be if the game is popular in that country, or maybe the quantity of the player that they have. For example, in Peru, we have I don't know how many players, but it's not a good number for maybe brands that can want to join to support the game with a tournament or things like that. But maybe in Brazil, Argentina, Chile, they have a lot of players to compete. So maybe that's why the brands want to support the game more.
Okay, okay. So compared to other European countries, like you think like the community is way bigger there than in South America per se, like in Latin America, not in Latin America, no, but like in South America per se, or you think it's about like the brands haven't identified the communities that well, so they're not actually like aware of the potential.
Yeah, maybe it's like you say. I mean, it's because the brand already identify. Okay, in this country, the most popular game, the most quantity of player they have is this. So okay, we're gonna put our eyes in this game, and we're gonna support, make the players come or buy our
Mhm.
products, things like. So maybe is that the reason for the quantity of the players that they have, and the brand already identify that.
Okay, okay. Going back to like the collegiate scene in NA, like from your perspective, what would like why would a FGC player go and study and compete in the collegiate scene in NA?
I mean, because you have a lot of chance to make a good mastery or take a good course because because I think it's a great university that the option that Esportian bring to you. Also, USA have big tournaments there about FGC, so it's a great opportunity to finish a career there, and also if you have in your mind keep competing. That's why, because if we look the tournaments the USA have, you're gonna see in 1 week maybe 3 or 4 tournaments, all the weekends, all the week can be online or maybe offline tournaments. So I mean, it would be a great opportunity if someone want to take that chance, to study there and keep competing, grow up as a professional also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, one thing that unis do there that they don't do in Europe or Latin America is like they act as sponsors. They don't only give you scholarship, okay, to study, your degree while you represent them in the collegiate scene. There's like now more and more. There's more like 1 or 2 leagues there, but like also in the pro scene, if you want to go to like Evo or like the multiple tournaments throughout the year, they actually like pay for your your travels, your 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 housing, and in some cases you can get to keep like some of the prize earnings, and that keeps being like a pro, getting your bachelor's or master's, and then representing it. So like that I think is the main like driver of like players wanting to go to collegiate. And at the same time also, I don't know, like imagine you want to do an MBA, okay? Like
Mhm.
the starting salary when you graduate from an MBA is probably going to be higher, okay, in most cases, that the salary that you would get only being a pro. Okay, so that also, makes them take that decision. But yeah, I completely agree. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, also if, for example, if I'm from South America, like now, um, if I have the chance to go to study, want to get a good sponsor, because we don't have good sponsor that looking on our eyes in the FGC, it would be a great opportunity. Like you say, I mean, to get a sponsor, get invited to big events that maybe uh, that we don't have the chance here, the money, things like that. It will be more easy if you go to study there and maybe you get a sponsor in the university or maybe in another thing, and it would be a great choice, I think.
Mhm. And what video games from fighting games are growing more like in popularity within the young generation? Because like for example, in Spain, okay, like most of the like Smash Bros, okay, but like the other ones are like very like 25-year-olds and up. Then in the US, we're seeing that like in high schools, like it's being very popular. But like, what would you say is the main video game that is growing popularity?
I think it would be Street Fighter because it's the game
Yeah.
that I play, but it's very popular. I mean, because everybody who start to play fighting games knows that Street Fighter from Super Nintendo or the classic ones. If you see a photo about Ryu, you're gonna recognize this. Oh, this is the character from Street Fighter. So at least this
Yeah.
is the most popular game. And also, I can say in South America can be King of Fighter, Tekken, and Street Fighter. There's the three mains here in South America. If you go to any arcade in the city, you will see always an arcade about the King of Fighter game or Tekken game. It's always gonna
Mhm.
happen here in Peru, Bolivia, Argentina, Chile. You will see that game always in arcade.
Yeah. And in terms of like competitions and facilities for like the esports scene to thrive in those video games, does the publisher uh help you? Uh are they like do, do they help the tournament organizers? Do they help the pro players like you or not?
Um, yeah, because before I was working with an organization here that we make big tournaments. We talk with the publisher to looking for help. I mean, for maybe get all the character pass for the game. I mean, for getting the consoles, and they give us like a code to put in all the PlayStations to have all the characters. Um, Also, I remember that the one publisher give us a price to increase the price that we have for the winner. So we increase the price because the publisher helped us. So at least in Peru, I can say that yeah, the publisher talked with us if we want to organize something big. The publisher like to uh, help us.
Hmm. Amazing, amazing, amazing. We have another question from Mauricio, also at LinkedIn. Uh, so he says, as an esports enthusiast, what could we do to make Latin America scene more relevant? What needs to happen?
For example, we have a player now that he's doing very relevant now in Peru because he's the first time that he's living in USA. He just go to compete and he's winning a lot of big tournaments.
Hmm.
The first time he go in a big major, he win the major there in USA. Um, there's not only USA player there in that tournament. It was Korean players, Japanese players, Mexican, USA. He won that tournament. So all the news here, the newspaper in Peru, put the name on the guy and say this guy win this big tournament, and he's still there in USA and he's still winning local tournaments, online tournaments. So he's getting more relevant here in Peru and also in his community. So a lot of newspaper, uh, the news on Facebook or Twitter are talking about him. So maybe if someone go outside and have good results, uh, the FGC can grow up here maybe.
Hmm. Okay. And how's the content creation aspect in fighting games, like especially in Peru? Like, how's the scene? Is it like other a lot of content creators, like for example in Street Fighter?
At least in Peru, I think I am the only one who make a content creator because I like to teach other players that maybe are started in the game or maybe have time but they don't know the about the actualization of the game. Maybe something changed and they don't know because they don't have the time to practice, or maybe they want to play and that's it. But I investigate a little bit more, so that's why I make videos when I have time. Uh, I
Okay.
record some gameplays about the changes on the game. Um, I put them in my social media, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and then yeah, the people want me to keep doing things like that because I try to explain to just know for the old players, also for the new ones, that a video that so everybody can learn.
Yeah.
So
Amazing. So
at least in Street Fighter, I'm doing content creator, and I know that another player is doing the same, but in Tekken.
okay. So actually, like, what would you say is like the main reason that got you into content creation? Like teaching other players, your skill, spreading the word. What is the potential monetization? Like, what motivated you to create content?
I think because I want my community grow up. It's not just increase the amount the player is. I mean, it's increase the skills. because maybe if we have a big tournament here, they come from other countries. I want my country always win the tournament, So that's why I make these videos for help my community, also help another people from South America that is starting in the game or they don't know about the chain. So I make it easy for these guys with my content creator. But yeah, the idea was because I want to teach the new guys that maybe don't know this or that. So I started to create content like 3 years ago, maybe, or 4 years ago. I started on Facebook, and then I go to Twitter, and I have a big results there because I remember that when I was learning from a guy who lived in USA, I was I was seeing what the videos that he made, and I learned a lot. And then when I do by myself, he telling me, I'm learning from you now because you explore more that game than me. I see things that maybe I didn't know, but it was really funny because I was learning from him, and now he's learning from me now.
A similar like a similar thing happened with the guy that started to teach you on how to compete,
Yeah.
and now he's learning from you again. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very funny because this guy in USA is very popular. He was the on a Street Fighter Five. He was
Yeah.
one of the top Balrogs. The name of the character is Balrog, so he was very popular. He was one of the best Balrogs in the world. When I make the videos, he told me that I was in the list of the best Balrogs in the world because I have a lot of touch, a lot of content creator about my character that maybe other players didn't know. So it was he made a video on YouTube about myself also. It was really satisfying, to see that your work is working for other guys. It's not just for the beginning, also for the pro players.
Amazing, man. Amazing. So before we wrap things up, like, is there anything that I missed or I didn't ask that you would like to mention?
Um, let me see there. I don't remember. Well, like I say, I will keep doing content creator. Keep competing like I'm doing now. Like next month, I will travel to Dominican Republic for represent my country in a big major. This year, I'm looking for qualifying the World Cup of the Street Fighter again. So I am manage my time, my schedule because also I have a work that I go in the office. Then when I finish my work, I go to my sponsor to practice or maybe participate in tournaments. And then I need to make some time to create some videos, content creator for my channels, so my social media. So it's very
Yeah.
difficult the schedule that I have, but I try to manage. I hope that I have results. No, I have already a result on Saturday, so I want to. I hope that this continue.
hmm Yeah, amazing. And hopefully, in the long run, the content creators thing, starts to monetize more and more. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
if you keep the consistency and you keep learning, it will. At the end of the day, it's all about consistency and putting in the years. But yeah, amazing, man. Amazing. So, like for players or coaches that want to be in your radar when you recruit them to potentially send to the US and Canada, like what what do you think? Where do you think they should be, or doing?
Mm, I think. Can you repeat me because I get confused a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
about the question?
For players or coaches that would like that, I would like to go to study and compete in the US or Canada, what should they be doing? Like routines, or where should they be in tournaments? What social medias? How can they get noticed by you?
The most popular social media that I use to contact other people, I think, is Twitter, X now. but
X.
that's the most popular. Yeah, X now. So it's the most popular social media.
Mhm.
So I can contact to these guys talking about the opportunity that maybe they can have, study in USA, get a sponsor, study, keep competing, grow up as a player. So we are gonna create a link, I think, in a few days with my
Yeah.
name tag to get an interview with Esportian. Tell us all about this, how it is gonna work for him, take this great opportunity,
Okay. Including a call to action there.
Yeah.
And Dorde said, "Can you please name an esports organization in Latin America you would refer to work with? So, an org that you would, you know, refer Dorde, for me to reach out."
um, well, there's USA teams that already come here to Peru to work with MOBAs games. For example, a popular big name here that we have is OG. It's a big team. OG,
Hmm.
also Heroic. Before it was Beast Coast here, but I think they changed the name now. So, and Evil Genius was here also. But all
Hmm.
these big teams work with just with the Dota players. But
Okay.
I hope one day this can change. So not working just with the mobile games, working also with the FGC, because we already proved that when we go outside to compete, we have good results outside. So I hope this change one day. I don't know when, but I will keep doing the same that I'm doing. Uh, Create content to get the eyes from other big teams. Keep competing. Help my community with tournaments. Tech that I do. I'm doing some class also for a few players.
Amazing. Carlos or Nerotheboxer, man, like keep doing what you do. You're growing, man, and yeah, let's keep working to get those opportunities. But yeah, man, like thank you so much for your time, and
No,
and
no,
yeah,
don't worry.
let's keep working together. It's always a pleasure. A pleasure.
Yeah, yeah, I'm very happy to work with you guys. Yeah, I want to keep growing up the FGC, not just in South America, in Latam. I want to looking forward outside Europe, America. Tell us all these guys that this big chance that we are offered.
Amazing, man. Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Carlos, we're gonna wrap it up here, okay?
Yeah. Okay.